Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm gonna be giving you part 7 of What If Naruto Became the God of Lightning. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends and social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for Anime King and Anime King 3 as I'm gonna be posting a new episode of What If over there. All links will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. So remember to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. And become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto finally woke up, as he was in Kazuna's house, after his whole ordeal with Riga. As he had passed out, so did Kakashi, as Kakashi was currently out of commission, as he was exhausted, chakra exhaustion. It took some time, but they got back to their feet, as Kakashi was going to train the group, but Naruto told him that he was going to train on his own, as Kakashi was told by the Hokage about why Naruto had such potent lightning abilities. As Naruto informed Kakashi that he was going to train, get some help from his different sensei. As Kakashi understood, not wanting to get Naruto away, he decided to focus on the other two. Seeing that they already finished water walking and tree walking already, he decided to focus on their taijutsu and ninjutsu skills. Meanwhile, as Naruto was focusing, he tried his best, but the farthest he could reach was up to the second tail. He tried to bring on the third tail, but he started to lose his sanity right there. Despite Kurama being nice to him, the chakra was corrosive and potent. But as he fought with his clones, Naruto was able to bring out the third tail, as Kurama watched him with a smirk on his face, as the kid was adapting so quickly. The remaining time passed, as Naruto continued his training where he met Haku, as he knew that Haku was the one with the 100 in maths. After talking, Naruto eventually let her go, as she made her way. But not before he gave her a warning, that if they come after him and his friends again, he will have to kill them, as Haku will do whatever it takes to make sure Master was okay. In the week that passed by, Naruto ended up speaking to Inari, as the boy was all about them losing and giving up hope, as none of them would be Gato. When they finally came, Naruto was behind, as he destroyed the two bandits that tried to kidnap Inari and Tsunami. He told Inari how proud he was, seeing that the boy showed courage to protect his mother, even though he knew he could win. So with that, Naruto headed off. He made his way to the bridge as him and Riga crashed into each other, creating electric spark everywhere as they flashed off into the distance. Zabuza took on Kakashi. As Sasuke took on Haku, Naruto brought Riga as the both of them made their way to the forest. Both of them clashed violently as Naruto did not use the Fox Chakra, just focused on his own. As him and Riga was shocked to see Naruto literally absorbing the lightning from his blades. As the both of them clashed with the last final attack, the both of them run to each other and boom. Riga left lung was torn open as he got a fatal injury as he collapsed to the ground. This was the way all swordsmen want to go out, doing what they love the best. Seeing the hope in Naruto, Riga told him something. Riga wanted to become the lightning god. He heard about this man a long time ago, not knowing that he was referring to Kurama. Yes, Kurama in his human form. Everyone come to know him as the lightning god back in the ages before he just disappeared. As Riga see that potential in Naruto, so he gave Naruto his blades. Just holding on to him, Naruto could feel the current stabilizing his body, as it made him feel so much more powerful. As Riga died, a smile on his face, as Naruto made his way off. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the place and check out for yourself. So this is the beginning of this new episode. We begin this episode in the bridge. The mist was thick. Sakura could see everything in front of her though, where the dome was. Sasuke was trapped inside. as Sasuke was trying his best to face off against Haku, but Haku's speed was just ridiculous. She made her way through the mirrors. Sasuke couldn't even get a clear glance towards her as she bombarded with Senbon needles after Senbon needles. Sasuke didn't notice though that she wasn't aiming for any vital spot. She was just aiming to take him down, incapacitate him, to end this. Sakura started to get worried as she saw Sasuke stagger on his feet. His Sharingan activated as he glanced around. Sasuke was panting inside the dome as he couldn't keep up. He was just not fast enough as he glanced around. "I'm afraid this is the end," said Haku as she glanced down towards him. Several copies of her came around the mirrors as they all pulled back their hands. A distraction to keep Sasuke's eyes on all of them while the real one incapacitated him. Sasuke smirked though, as before Haku could do anything, Sasuke flipped through a new set of hand signs. This was the time to use a technique that Kakashi taught him. "Swirling flames," he said. Sasuke spewed flames out of his mouth while spinning, as the flames spin around his body like a small tornado before they expanded out as they slammed into the ice mirrors. But that didn't affect them too much. That gave Sasuke the chance to launch kunais with explosive tags around him. Boom! A massive explosion went off inside the dome. Sakura's eyes widened as she waited to see the result of what happened. Sasuke cursed in his mind when he saw the little damage the explosive did. It was already being keeled over with the ice, and the mirrors returned back to normal. "I'm afraid your effort is futile. You will not be able to win this," Haku said, as she glanced down towards him in the center mirror. "Just give up, and I assure you, this won't be painful." Sasuke panted as he already exerted so much chakra already, and he wasn't getting anywhere. Suddenly, lightning released, rotating chains in the voice, as a screeching sound could be heard. Haku's eyes widened under the mask, as the whole half of the section where Sakura was standing, the entire mirror shattered, as strange electric chains were ripping through them. Sakura's eyes went wide, as a big happy smile came on her face when she saw who was in front of her. As Naruto stood there panting, as Sasuke glanced behind him to see the entire dome now broken open towards the side. Haku glanced over. Despite not showing it, it caused and exerted a lot of chakra to maintain this, and he just destroyed it. It would take a while for her to fix it back. Not to mention she was wasting so much time with the Uchiha. She should have ended this a long time ago. "Naruto, are you okay?" Sakura asked, as she glanced towards him. He turned and gave her a smile and a thumbs up. "Don't worry, I'm fine," he said. She then noticed his clothing. There were burn marks all over him, and black scuffles on his arms. But there was something on his back, which he used a red scarf to tie it around his stomach, as he had two swords. Her eyes widened as she remembered that guy that Naruto was fighting at those blades. So Naruto stepped forward as Haku looked down towards him. "You don't have to do this, Haku," said Naruto. "I see you have Rega blades. Did you defeat him and took them as your prize?" "Yes, I defeated him, but he gave them to me," said Naruto, as Haku smiled under her mask slightly. "I guess he would do something like that, given the both of you share the same elemental affinity. But I'm sorry, this is not over until the both of you are incapacitated and the bridge builder is taken care of." "I'm sorry, but I can't allow you to do that." "Then it seems like the both of us has picked our choice and our side." "Yeah, it seems," said Naruto. "Do you know her?" said Sasuke. "Yeah, thought I did," said Naruto. Sasuke took a full glance towards Naruto. "Are you sure you don't want to sit this one out?" he said. Naruto scoffed. "Huh, and let you die all alone? You barely look like you can stand." "Well, that fight was a tough one," said Naruto, as he glanced around, as the mirrors were being reformed. "Guys, watch out!" Sakura screamed, as Naruto and Sasuke leaped away as Senbons embedded into the ground where they were. As Naruto panted a bit more, saying that he wasn't using the Kyuubi chakra and he focused on his chakra alone, facing off against Rega, he was exhausted. His entire body felt fatigued. "Hey, Kurama, I'm gonna need a bit of a help. Thought you said you can do this on your own." "Well, I guess not," said Naruto, as he looked towards Haku, who started to prepare another volley of Senbons. "Fine, just don't screw up. After all, I wouldn't want to die with you. Huh. Well, if I'm dying, I'm dragging you along with me. Not before I break the seal and escape. Huh. You and I both know you can't do that, right? Who knows? Haven't tried. But get yourself killed and you will see. Well, how would I see? I'll be dead. Suppose you're right. Huh. Now who's the dumb fox, said Naruto. Just shut up and take my chakra, said Kurama. As Naruto smiled, as Sasuke glanced towards him before he had to step back, an aura exploded from Naruto's body that cracked the ground underneath him. As a blue glow surrounded him, Sasuke remembered the last time he saw this, when Naruto faced off against Raiga. Sakura's eyes widened as she felt the pressure. What the hell is that, said Tazuna. Seeing that he was passed out the last time Naruto did this, as Naruto pulled the two blades from his back, as they started to cackle. This is your last chance, Haku. Stop this. And one of us don't have to die. I'm afraid I can't. Now prepare yourself. Sasuke stepped in front of Naruto or the flashing Yuan signs. Fire style, Fireball Jutsu, as he released a massive fireball, blocking Haku's view. Do it, Sasuke said, as Naruto spin and point his two blades forward. A current shot from them, obliterating another side of the ice dome. As Sasuke leaped forward and fired off another massive fireball. Do it now, Sasuke said, as he leaned down, as Naruto ran and jumped on Sasuke's shoulder, using the boost Naruto to push off. He slammed both of the blades into the mirror. The discharge exploded outwards, obliterating them. An explosion happened that blew all the particles to the side. Sasuke panted on the ground. That was it for him. He used up too much chakra, he was out of the fight now. He's too exhausted. He didn't pass so, but he was unable to fight anymore, he just hoped that the dope did it. He glanced forward as he saw Haku on the ground. Haku's body was twitching slightly, as Naruto stepped over her, before he brought his hand down and sliced. The pointed tip of the blade ripped Haku's mask in half as it fell to either side. I told you, it's over. Haku felt her arm spasm. I failed. As she looked around, and a tool that failed is useless. Go ahead, kill me, she said. As much as I should, you are not an evil person, Haku. I know how fast you are, after all I saw it firsthand. And you could have killed the Uchiha, but you did not. You just wanted to knock him out. So this is your chance to stop all this foolishness. Stop calling yourself a weapon and a tool, said Naruto, as he extended one of his hands. It's not too late. Chirping birds could be heard as Haku glanced to the side. Zabuza-sama. She glanced towards Naruto, already weaving through, one hand in hand sign behind her back. Despite only knowing you for a short amount of time, I come to see you as a wonderful person. If I had time, I suppose we would have been friends. And I want to thank you for your offer, but I'm afraid it's just not for me. And I need to save my master. Thank you, Naruto-kun, she said. Before ice mirror formed behind her, she fell right into the ice mirror. As Naruto turned his head as he heard a chirping sound. Damn it, he said, as he pushed off. Sakura and Tazuna made their way over to the downed Sasuke as Naruto shot off as fast as his legs would take him, but he wasn't fast enough. Kakashi's eye widened when he was going towards a pinned down Zabuza that was being pinned down by his dogs, when suddenly the moisture in the air thickened in front of him, creating the ice mirror as Haku stepped out. Zabuza's eyes widened. Kakashi was already going into momentum. Slam! As the sound of flesh being punctured could be heard. With her last remaining strength, Haku grabbed Kakashi's hand. Zabuza-sama, she said. Now being freed from the dogs, Zabuza clenched his blade. She took my attack to save your worthless life, said Kakashi. Haku, you did something great, saving my life and also giving me Kakashi's. As Zabuza raised his blade up in the air, Kakashi's eyes went wide. He would cut right through her, he thought. As Kakashi grabbed onto Haku's back to leap away, as Zabuza brought down his blade only for it to be caught right in Naruto's palm. His entire body still glowing with that unrestrained blue energy around him. After all she did, even sacrificing her life for you. He would defile her body by cutting right through her. "You monster," said Naruto. As he looked up towards Zabuza, Zabuza saw the boy's eyes that were deep blue with slits in them, fans protruding from his lips. "You call me a monster? What the hell are you?" Zabuza said. "Shut up," said Naruto. "How could you do this to her? After everything? You know nothing, kid. Haku was just a tool." The moment those words left his lips, an electric pulse released on Naruto's fingers and broke his blade in half. As Naruto grabbed onto the broken part, Zabuza tried to raise his left arm, but it was completely useless, given that Kakashi had damaged it along with his dog as well. As his eyes went wide, realizing, as Naruto twists, the broken blade that he was holding onto got covered with lightning. Zabuza's eyes went wide as he realized he was going to die. As he wasn't fast enough to move his injuries, stopping his hand from even budging, and his other hand was still holding onto the broken blade that he couldn't even lift at the moment. He glanced towards Haku, who Kakashi had set down. "I won't be seeing you again, Haku. After all, you and I won't be going to the same place. You have always been so gentle and kind." That was his last thought before Naruto released the blade as it was covered with electricity. Slice. Zabuza's head fly off his shoulders as the blade was sent sailing away. Zabuza's body started to fall, but not before his head slammed down, and the rest of his body fell as well. Naruto stood there as the bridge went completely silent. Sakura was helping Sasuke along, with Tazuna behind him. Sakura's eyes widened as she looked toward the scene, as Kakashi was already feeling the effects of his battle, his body feel completely drained. Naruto, he was cut off as clapping could be heard. All of them then turned toward the other edge of the bridge. Standing there was a rather short man with a cane as he made his way. "You know, I was kind of rooting for you guys, because if you guys win, I wouldn't have to pay that scum. After all, he charged me so much, claiming that he was a demon of the mist, him and his stupid partner, but I can see none of them around. And you had to go and finish him off for me. Good job, kid. And know that all of you are in a poor state. I can let my boys finish you off." Sakura's eyes went wide when she noticed the bandits behind the short man. "What do you say, boys? Ready to take on a few ninjas?" As all of them gripped onto their weapon. They're quite weak, so you can take them down rather easily. Although, it's a shame that the girl died. Now that Zabuza is dead, I could have taken her in and let her become my personal slave, Gato said that smirk. Everything was cut when Naruto suddenly roared. A mighty roar that shook the bridge. Gato's eyes went wide, everyone's eyes did. It was then that Kakashi saw Naruto stoop down. "Kid, you need to calm down," said Kurama. But Naruto wasn't listening. The rage, the pent-up rage and the anger he was pulling, seeping away at Kurama's chakra. As Naruto stooped, Kakashi watched. "Can't be," he thought. As instantly 3 tails flourished behind Naruto. Naruto's claws scraped against the ground as electrical field came off them. As his claws got blue, his entire body turned to a blue haze. "Hey boys," Gato said, stepping back in fear. "Take care of that one first." Seeing that they had the numbers, many of them smirked as they stepped forward. Naruto said Kakashi. Naruto's eyes snapped towards him as he glanced over the group, before his eyes glanced towards Haku. He then turned, his face turned into an angry snarl. "Bring me his head, boys," said Gato. As all of them moved forward, Kakashi struggled to get back to his feet, only for Naruto to shoot off the bridge, creating a dent where he did. As a blue streak was all many of them saw. Claws tearing through flesh. Flesh being teared and burned by electricity. As Naruto landed in the center, his 3 tails lashing out wildly. He was letting the anger get the better of him, even though he had some sort of sense not to attack his teammates. Sakura and Sasuke and Tazuna watched in shock as Naruto's tails brutally ripped through several of the men, tearing them to pieces. Sasuke was overwhelmed. What the hell is this? As he didn't know what kind of power was this. On the other hand, Sakura was scared, as she's never seen anything like this before. Gato tried to run away as he made his way towards the edge of the bridge, as he quickly climbed down into his small boat, as he started to make one of his men paddle him away, as he watched with a sigh of relief. But then he saw the rest of his bandits being taken down rather easily as Naruto leaped. Naruto crash landed in the boat. The bandit that was taking Gato away pulled his blade and swing towards Naruto's head, only for it to come in contact with his cloak before a surge exploded away, sending the man sailing. The remaining bandits on the bridge leap off into the water, swimming away for their life. No amount of money could cost them their life as they swim away, knowing that if they stay here they would die, as many of them lie dead on the bridge. Naruto picked Gato up by his throat. "Please," Gato said, already feeling the electricity snapping at his skin. "I'll give you money, island, power, women, anything you want. Don't kill me," he said. "You are the one responsible for this. All the suffering, all the pain that is going on here in the hidden wave," said Naruto. His sense of self was coming back to him. He was in control fighting those bandits, but not fully. Half of him was being lost to the power of the chakra that was so overwhelming. "Don't worry, I won't kill you. There's a much more fate for you," said Naruto as he looked up, as he saw Inhera with a lot of the villagers. "They are the ones that you put through crap. They should be the one to decide your fate. And I'm sure it will be much worse than me just killing you," said Naruto. "No, don't take me back there. I promise. I'll give you anything you want. Anything." "I don't want anything from you," said Naruto, as he squeezed Gato's throat. Gato felt the ear leaving him, as Naruto pulled back his fist and smashed it into the man's gut. His eyes healed back as he fell unconscious. Holding the man by his back of his neck, Naruto leaped off the boat, as he landed back on the bridge and released the man. Kakashi looked over towards Naruto, the three tails still swaying behind him. "Kakashi-sensei, is Naruto okay?" Sakura asked, seeing him not moving. As Kakashi was now back to his feet, Sasuke narrowed his eyes. If the dope decided to attack them, at the moment he couldn't fight, but he wouldn't do that. As Naruto started to walk as he released Gato. "Naruto," said Kakashi as he walked over, still on his guard a bit, knowing the power was so corrosive and influence. "Are you okay?" As Naruto glanced towards him. "Yeah, I'm fine," he said. The cloak then vanished like that, leaving Naruto standing there, until he started to fall. Kakashi moved forward as he grabbed Naruto by the arm, so his face wouldn't hit into the bridge. As he slowly set him down, he was fine, just unconscious. The people of Wave saw the unconscious Gato there, as cheers started to be heard, despite the cold dead bodies lying around the bridge. They saw Gato's body and realized that their suffering was all over now. Time skip. As Naruto woke up, his eyes looking around, he knew that he was in a mindscape as he looked up at the sky, the one that he created, the bright, beautiful sky, where the sun doesn't hurt your eyes, as he could look directly at the sun. He smiled. "Huh, you really lost your shit back there." As Naruto glanced over to see Kurama in his human form, as he was leaning up against a rock, his hand lazily at his side, his head caught back. As Naruto slowly got to his feet, like usual his body felt fine in here. "I guess I did. Huh, seems like you were right about your chakra. The more rage I had, the more it latched onto that rage. But it's not like I fully went out of control." "Well, you didn't, but still, you lost your shit." "Yeah, guess I really did," said Naruto as he sat back down. "So what now?" "Well, that's up to you. And I just want to say that you're a kid." "What?" said Naruto. "Look, I'm not giving you a hard time or anything. It's okay for you to feel all those human emotions, sadness, grief. Even though I told you to push them away sometimes, so that it will make you a better shinobi. But that girl, even I could tell that she was a nice one. So it's okay for you to feel sad about what happened to her, about her death. Yeah, said Naruto. Another thing, you were high on adrenaline. Killing Reiga was your first kill. And you tried to scheme past it, but it was on the back of your mind. And then you went and killed Zabuza and those bandits. Killing Zabuza was too much, it pushed you over the edge. And that Gato guy really ticked you off. I can understand why you lost your shit. But next time, you need to keep yourself calm, or things could go out of hand. Naruto simply lay back down in the soft grass, without saying anything else as he looked up at the sky. Time skip. As Naruto was currently sitting down in front of two graves. I know, this is what you would have wanted, said Naruto as he glanced towards one of them, at the right. Although he doesn't deserve it, to even be anywhere near you, even in death, said Naruto. But, despite everything, you still wanted this. I'm sorry I wasn't fast enough to help you, said Naruto. Meanwhile, he was talking. Kakashi was standing there, at this time behind him watching Naruto. The Hokage had told to keep an eye on Naruto, and watch him, and told him what he saw when he comes towards the fox. Seeing that Naruto has been in direct contact with the fox lately, they didn't know if the fox was trying to manipulate him or not. But from what he saw on the bridge, Naruto seemed to have full control. After all, he was able to differ friends between foes. And when it was over, he dropped the cloak. The only thing left now is to wait for Tazuna to finish building the bridge, for them to complete their mission, and then head back to Konoha. As he saw Naruto slowly getting up to his feet. Meanwhile, with Sakura and Sasuke, as the both of them were currently in the house. For the first time, Sakura was not flirting with Sasuke or anything, not asking out on a date, as they were currently talking, and it seemed rather serious. The both of them had spoke to Kakashi while Naruto was unconscious. He told them that he can't be the one to tell them what Naruto did back there. It was a secret. That made Sasuke quite intrigued. What secret did Dope had? What exactly did he do? But Kakashi wouldn't tell them, so he had no idea. Sakura on the other hand was a bit afraid after seeing that. But she knew that Naruto wouldn't hurt them, right? They were his teammates. He wouldn't do anything bad to hurt them. So, should we ask him? Said Sakura. As she glanced towards Sasuke. Sasuke said nothing for a few seconds, currently thinking over what he should do. Him himself had no idea. This must be something big. And if it was, why would he even tell them? I don't know, he said. Sakura was surprised that Sasuke was uncertain about this. Even he didn't know what to do. As she sighed, she didn't know what to do either. But this affects all of them, right? After all, Naruto just went on a rampage like that. She didn't even know what to call it. Alright then, perhaps not now. When the time is right, she said. Sasuke simply gave a small shrug, as she nodded. She was surprised. This was the first time that she was talking with Sasuke, so calm. She wasn't even asking about a date. Why didn't that thought didn't go to her mind at the moment? At the moment, she was just happy to have her team, and she wouldn't want anything to jeopardize that. It was strange, but being a part of this team had really helped her a lot. And she just wanted everything to return back to normal. Well, it would, once they got back to the village. Time skip. As the group was currently waving towards the people of Wave, everyone was celebrating, everyone was cheering them on. As they watched as they departed with a big smile on their face. So, Grandpa, what's the bridge gonna be named? Asked Neri. Yeah, another man said, we should probably name it after our heroes. Yeah, that kid, Naruto. What about the Naruto bridge? Nah, that doesn't sound too flashy, another one said. Yeah, you're right. What about the super, awesome, amazing Naruto bridge? That's too long. I know, said Tazuna. As they all turned towards him, what about the great Naruto bridge? They mulled it over, you know? That sounds amazing, yeah! The great Naruto bridge it will be, all of them shouted out. As Tazuna smirked, he was thinking about that name the entire week. He glad that they like it. As he smiles, he watches heroes headed off. As for Gato, Gato wasn't dead. Meanwhile, the short man was currently angry. He was currently tied up, chained up to a wall. in a makeshift prison that they created. They had stripped him of all of his clothes, humiliating him upon tying him up. This was his punishment. They wouldn't kill him, they wouldn't let him off so easy. He will understand what it feels like to be an oppressor under someone's thumb. As one of the men standing there at the cell smirked, as Gato glared at him but he couldn't speak, there was a ball gag in his mouth. As he screamed, but that didn't mind them as the two men started to laugh. After all you've done, you should be on your knees praying that we aren't torturing you. This is your punishment for all you put us through, and you will stay here until you die. Gato cursed, but at the moment he couldn't do anything at all, as the two men simply laughed. Yes, he will stay here. Time skip at Konoha. As Kakashi and Hiruzen was the only one in the office, the team had been dismissed. As Hiruzen was currently sitting down, hearing what Kakashi had to tell him. And he didn't went out of control. No. After taking care of the bandits, I spoke to him. He calmed down almost instantly, and he reverted back to normal. So, you think this is the real deal, Hiruzen said. After your current observation, you haven't seen any influence that the Fox is trying to take over. No, Hokage-sama, said Kakashi, but his teammates saw what happened, and they're curious. They have a lot of questions. I have already spoken to Naruto about this. It is up to him if you want to tell them or not. But at the moment, do not reveal anything to them. Yes, I know, said Kakashi. But Naruto doesn't seem like he wants to talk about it. He's just trying to switch things up to return back to his training. Well, as long as he has this under control, everything will be okay. But the moment you see anything different, or any influence of the Fox trying to take over, I'll have to get in touch with Jiraiya to get him to come and tighten the seal. I don't think that Naruto would take too kindly to that, said Kakashi. I know he won't, but this is for his own good, just in case. So just continue to keep an eye on him, and make sure everything is okay. Kakashi nodded. Alright, your team deserves a break after this mission after all. Things went so AWOL. And that is a blunder on your part, for not coming back and speaking to me. Well, said Kakashi, rubbing back of his head. You are lucky, no one got hurt. But this mission has been deemed a success. And now we have a new ally with the Land of Wave that want to start shipping with Konoha. So I guess that you did a good thing by going along this mission. And it also showed maturity in your team to help people despite knowing that they didn't have the payment. Kakashi nodded as he breathed a sigh of relief. He thought he was going to be reprimanded for going on a mission without informing the Hokage about it. Alright, dismiss, Hiruzen said. As Kakashi left, as Hiruzen turned, he reached for his old trusty pipe as he started to light it up, taking a quick draw. As he sighed, releasing the smoke. He just hoped this rhythm that everything was ending to fall out. At the moment the world was peace. Whenever the ninja world was peace for too long, there was always a great, catastrophic event that happened. As he just really hoped everything continued this way. Meanwhile, as Naruto was currently the forest of death, as Anko was there as well, the both of them. As the both of them were eating dango, Anko had a big smile on her face, as Naruto was the one that bought it and came to her, as she would never refuse a plate of dango. Seeing that he didn't have much time to speak to her lately, and be the friend that he should be, he decided to treat her, as Anko was really enjoying this, as she sat back and relaxed. So kid, how was latest mission, she asked. Well, things kind of went AWOL. How so? As Naruto recalled the events to her, by the time he was finished, Anko's eyes went wide. You killed Zabuza? The demon of the mist? Well, Kakashi had already taken him down a peg, so I just kind of delivered the final shot. Still, that's something else. And Reiga, that man's a B-rank missing nin, and you took him on by yourself. Huh, to how you're still Jenny, I have no idea. Well, I haven't taken the Chunin exams yet. Well, I suppose that you'll be joining them this year. Huh? Said Naruto. Well, that's right, you don't know. The Chunin exams are coming up in a couple of months. Well, that will be up to Kakashi, said Naruto. Well, given the things that you and your team has already done in your short ninja career, it would only be fitting for him to sign you guys up. Who knows? Probably you pass in your first run and become a Chunin. And maybe you and I can go on missions together. A small smirk came on her face. I mean, think about it. Out there in the wild, the both of us. Nothing but trees and bushes for miles upon miles. Where no one can hear us scream. And what's that supposed to mean? Said Naruto. Oh, nothing, she said, as she gave him one of those looks. Don't let it get to you, kid. She's just trying to mess with your head. After all, she thinks that you're a naive child. No, she doesn't, said Naruto. Of course she does, said Grandma. So, just keep a stern face and act like it doesn't bother you. Oh, come on, Naruto-kun, Uncle said, as she slipped behind him and placed her hands on his shoulder, letting her large assets press up against his back. Would you like to go on a mission with me? Just me and you alone, without your team. Well, I didn't say no. So you want to? She said as she came near to his ears in a whisper. Yeah, said Naruto. Uncle chuckled a bit when she saw his face getting all red. Told you, dumbass, said Grandma, as Uncle started to smile before she started to eat back the hunger again. So, how's it coming along? She said. She pointed towards his stomach. Well, alright, I guess. Haven't lost control yet? No, I told you I'm fine, said Naruto. Well, I have to worry about you. You're my friend after all, Uncle said. And not to mention you buy me dongo. And having my dongo supplier going crazy on me. As Naruto simply smiled and shook his head. Uncle got to her feet. So, what do you say about a light spar? I mean, it's been a while since we went at it. Naruto got to his feet as well as smirk. Sure thing, he said. Time skip. 3 months passed since the Land of Wave mission. Sakura had had enough as she asked Naruto about what happened in the first month. But Naruto simply told her it was a secret. Sasuke was there as well as he wanted to hear, but he didn't hear anything. As Naruto told him that it was a secret, and whenever they asked, he told him the same thing. For some reason, he just didn't want to tell them. So he just kept it to himself. And it's not like Kakashi would tell them either. But ever since then, Naruto hadn't had to rely on the Fox power. The missions that they went on was, well, not a lie, seeing that the C ranks were actually C ranks. They also went on a B rank, where they had to protect the princess, Kazumi, as her country was trying to be overrun. There was a power struggle within the family, which they later found out was her uncle. But Naruto was the one that ended up saving her from being executed while she was sleeping by her own uncle, as her father had died, and the man thought that she was unfit to rule, but she wanted to rule. Princess Kazumi was now the youngest daimyo in history, controlling the land of bears and all the routes and shipping that went through there. They took care of her uncle, as the man didn't get what he wanted, and he was thrown in prison to serve a long sentence after what he did, trying to execute the princess. That brought Team 7 a lot of spotlight view, seeing that they saved a daimyo, and she spoke highly of Naruto while speaking towards the Fire Daimyo, seeing that they did trading through the two countries. The Fire Daimyo was intrigued to see this Naruto Uzumaki at the upcoming Chunin exams, which he knew that would be happening at Konoha, as the girl had called these skills one of the greatest she's seen in the young generation. Despite her not being much older than Naruto, she still sees herself as someone much more older and more dignitary, even though she was nice. Unlike any daimyo, she didn't have that superiority around her, like lower people or less than her to that degree. But the Fire Daimyo was now intrigued to see Naruto at the upcoming Chunin exams, as he heard many things about him. Missions for Team 7 has been rolling in, the Fire Daimyo suggesting and sending some their way as well. And every mission that Team 7 got was completed. At the moment, Team 7 was on top of all the Genins as they broke a record once again for the most done mission in the shortest amount of time, 3 months, as they did so many missions, other than the D ranks, as they're up to 59 C ranks, 5 B ranks. Whenever it comes to protecting someone, well, rather noble, it's always a B rank. And for D rank, they're over 300. Team 7 has been getting a lot of spotlight, and not to mention their 2A rank. The first A rank mission didn't really make sense in Naruto. After all, the Fire Daimyo had his guard, but the man had asked for their team to guard him. And the man had spoken to him like he knew him. And Naruto never met this man before. But despite that, he wasn't that bad. And he didn't seem like some other, well, Royal pricks. Seeing that the other A-rank mission Naruto went on pissed him off to no degree, as the Lord from the other country that came to talk to the Fire Daimyo treated them like crap, always calling them servant, for them to help him with his equipment even though it was right next to him and the man could just lift it up, but he walked by it and called his servant by snapping his fingers. Kakashi had to restrain Naruto and calm him down, as Naruto wanted to electrocute the man, but other than that things was going fine with them. As they were being seen around the village, many people taking note, as the name has been spread about Team 7, especially Naruto Uzumaki, that has been having talks with the daimyos. Despite Naruto not really talking to so much daimyos, that was strange. People think of him as one of the new great genins of this year. His lightning abilities, talks about have been spreading far and wide, that one so young to have mastered over lightning to this degree, as Team 7 has been getting a lot of spotlight for that, not to mention the Uchiha on the team as well. Over the 3 months, Team 7 has been opening up to each other even more. They weren't that hostile anymore by Sasuke calling Naruto dope, and them not actually working together. Their teamwork has been getting quite well. Sakura has learned 3 more earth techniques. She even learned a water technique from Kakashi, but she needs a water source nearby to use it. Sasuke's arsenal for ninjutsu has been rising, as it has been rising a lot, seeing that he wanted to get as strong as Naruto. Even though he wouldn't admit out loud, he knew that Naruto was stronger. And Naruto for his part had been practicing like crazy. Anko had been teaching him new things, Kakashi had been teaching him new things, even Hiruzen teach him the Shuriken Jutsu. Given Naruto chakra output, Naruto can do 3 times what a normal Jonin can do. So things were going wonderful at the moment. And now it was finally time for the upcoming Chunin exams. We begin this episode at Kumo. The Raikage, a rather bulky man, dark skin tone, was currently lifting weights in his office, as he had a tattoo for lightning on his arm. As he placed on the weights, always keeping himself in shape, as he glanced through his window before taking a deep breath. He then turned back and pressed the intercom on his desk. Mabe? A moment later, a woman, dark skin, white hair, came to the office. As she had a pack of files in her hand, she placed on the Raikage's desk. Here are the selections, Raikage-sama, she said. The man went through the file. Most of them has already gone to the Chunin level, said Mabe. I can see that. What about this group? He said. They put a file across. Yes, they haven't taken the test yet. It would be a good representative to send them. After all, they have been excelling in their field. But sir, do you think this is a good idea? Even though things are calm and not hostile, it is still... Yes, I know. But to put on a good showing, I will allow Kuma ninjas to take part in the Chunin exams. If anything bad shall happen, it would be on Konoha turf, and they would be starting something which I know the old man doesn't want. After all, he was the one that was preaching peace all along. So I doubt he would do or allow them to do anything stupid. Not to mention, we have to show that Kumo is still on top as well. Genins from Konoha has been going around doing amazing things, while the rest of the villages are in the shadows. Yes, that Naruto Uzumaki, said Mabe. The Raikage nodded. To think that one boy could be so potent with the main ability that is known to Kumo ninjas. That is exactly why we have to send our ninjas to make them know that Kumo is still up there with Konoha as well, and we will not fall back in the shadows. As you say, Raikage-sama, said Mabe, as she took the rest of the papers and headed back to her desk. Meanwhile, in a dark, secluded base. Let's get this over with already. I don't want to be here if I don't have to. My. Why in such a rush? After all, things like these are delicate. We have to take our time to make sure everything goes as planned. Don't waste my time. This has already been finalized. We have both already talked about this. This shouldn't take too long. I have more important things to do. Come on. Both you and I know that your village status has been falling ever since. Konoha has been taking all the spotlight away from all other villages. Everyone has heard about the recent genin that he's doing so much. To hear that Genins are even taking away the spotlight from their village, that must be a real shame. It doesn't matter. Once they fall, all of this will be over. Well, that's correct. So why don't you follow me? Kazekage don't know. The Kazekage scoffed as he simply followed behind the man. After all, he was right. Konoha was taking away everything. And if he had the opportunity to crush them, to get back the political power that he deserved, he would not hesitate. Time skip. So for now, just get yourself ready. We will be departing to Konoha soon. The three of you will be in the Chunin exams. Gaara. The boy known as Gaara right here, with a tattoo for love on his forehead turned towards his sensei. I need you to keep yourself calm. I don't want you to go and start something that we're not ready for. Gaara said nothing. Did you hear me? Their sensei Baki asked. Temari glanced over. He did. So what now? When do we leave? She asked. Baki glared towards Gaara a bit, as the boy had been purposely not answering him, just to take him off. And he had to make sure that he didn't go and do anything stupid before they needed him to. We leave in a day. Get yourself ready. Back at Konoha, as Naruto leaped away, several snakes landed where he was. As they tried to wrap around him, he simply smirked as he pulled the Kiba blades, twisting them as he clean cut through the snakes. He remembered what the Hokage said about these blades, as the Hokage wanted to contact Kira about these. After all, it wouldn't be wise for another ninja to be seen with Kira blades. But Riga gave them to him, and Naruto wasn't going to give them up. Not to mention Kira was currently in a civil war. As the Hokage decided to just allow Naruto to be with them at the moment. As at the moment he was probably the only one suitable for them. Well, cross note the Raikage, and some Kumo ninjas light enough into. And from what Sir Toby saw, Naruto has been getting quite stronger and adapting to the blades well. Naruto smirked as he leaped away once again, only to be tackled, but he pivoted on his feet as he turned, pointing his blade right at his attacker's throat. Anko smiled as she looked at him. The kid has been getting so fast reflex-wise and strength-wise lately. She felt like she was even slopping behind. Well, she wasn't going fully all out, but she could tell that he wasn't going all out either. After all, she knew that he could control some of the power of the fox. But it wouldn't be wise to let that out right here in the village, where attention would be drawn quite easily. As Anko smirked, as Naruto dropped his blade to smirk again. I have no doubt, she said, you're gonna kick all of their ass in the Chunin exams. After all, you're already Chunin level, she said. That made Naruto smirk. Well, it's thanks to your training, he said. Aw, you made me blush, Anko said. To think that you see me as your sensei. Well, of course you are one of my senseis, said Naruto. You helped me so much. So, as he gave her a small bow. So, thank you, Anko sensei, for everything. Anko came around as she wrapped her arms around his neck, as she gave him a kiss on the cheek. That is for good luck, she said. Well, you don't need luck, because you're gonna kick all of their asses. As Naruto's cheeks got a bit red, still blushing to something like that. What? She's hot and she just kissed me, said Naruto. You know, I think it's time that we find you a girlfriend. After all, you're still a stranger to the concept of being a woman. Maybe then you would stop blush for a small little kiss. Shut up, said Naruto. We're not done talking about this, said Grandma. Yeah, said Naruto. As Naruto smiled, as he was looking forward to the upcoming Chunin exams, he couldn't wait. But guys, be ending episode right here. If you want the next part, there's something to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. But I'm out for now. Oh yeah, see you guys soon, and also stay tuned for the What Ifs over in Anime King 2 and Anime King 3, which I'll be posting later on. So stay tuned for those, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.